Good evening to our viewers watching on television and those joining us online across our social media platforms. I am Adana Doric with the Wednesday, January 28th edition of the Guyana TV9 News. In the headlines tonight, is this the end of the blackout era? Government bets $66 billion on GPL modernization. Driver gets $700,000 bill for causing death of chemist in East Bank's Demerara accident. President Ali secures UK support for Global Biodiversity Alliance in Buckingham Palace meeting. Two Barbies women remanded over 345 pounds of cannabis. Lighter bills, brighter homes. $119 billion budget boost to slash electricity costs for Guyanese families. And Rupununi tour guide found dead. Now for the news in depth. Guyana's power grid is getting a massive multi-billion-dollar jumpstart in a historic move to end the era of blackouts. The government has funneled a record $66.2 billion into the Guyana Power and Light GPL as part of the 2026 national budget. This unprecedented investment is designed to completely overhaul the country's transmission network and finally deliver the reliability Guyanese have been waiting for. Colin Abrams joins us with the breakdown of where that money is going.
The $66.2 billion allocation forms part of a broader $119.4 billion investment in the energy sector for 2026 and is intended to modernize GPL's aging infrastructure, reduce system failures, and support the integration of new power generation, including electricity expected from the gas energy project. Officials have acknowledged that while generation capacity has improved in recent years, weaknesses in the transmission and distribution networks have remained a major contributor to frequent outages. For many Guyanese households and businesses, power interruptions have become a regular occurrence. In recent years, sections of the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system, which supplies electricity to most of the population, have experienced repeated blackouts, some lasting several hours and affecting wide geographic areas. The government has indicated that the 2026 investment will focus on reinforcing transmission lines, upgrading substations, replacing obsolete equipment, and expanding distribution capacity to meet growing demands, reducing technical and commercial losses, which have historically accounted for a significant percentage of electricity generated but not delivered to customers, is also a key objective of the funding. These improvements are expected to stabilize power delivery and ensure that new electricity generated, particularly from the Wales gas-to-energy facility, can be reliably transmitted to homes and businesses. The allocation is also seen as critical to supporting Guyana's rapid economic expansion, including new housing developments, industrial projects, and commercial activity that require dependable electricity. Government officials have described the investment as part of a wider transformation of the electricity sector, moving away from temporary fixes toward a comprehensive modernization of the national grid. Once combined with the expected commissioning of lower-cost natural gas generation, the upgrades are intended to improve reliability and contribute to more affordable electricity over time. With billions of dollars now committed to strengthening GPL's infrastructure, the 2026 budget is being viewed as a potential turning point in Guyana's efforts to reduce blackouts and deliver more sustainable, resilient power supply to its citizens. Colin Abrams, Guyana TV9 News.
President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali kicks off his official visit to the United Kingdom by securing critical high-level support for Guyana's environmental agenda following a meeting with King Charles III at Buckingham Palace, centering the Guyanese people at the heart of global climate strategy. The president's first day of engagements paved the way for a new International Biodiversity Center of Excellence to be established in Guyana. Here is more.
One of the major engagements for the day, President Ali noted, was a meeting with King Charles III on Tuesday, who continues to play an active role in promoting Guyana's environmental initiatives at the international level. President Ali noted that King Charles reaffirmed his support for Guyana and commended the country's progress in climate action, forestry management, and environmental protection, and biodiversity conservation. The discussion focused on identifying shared priorities and exploring innovative approaches to biodiversity financing, including market-based models that could generate sustainable funding while supporting a broader environmental ecosystem. The president emphasized that Ghana is positioning itself as a major global player in biodiversity and ecosystem services. He highlighted the close connection between biodiversity and sectors such as pharmaceuticals, indigenous culture, traditional knowledge, language, and rights, noting that these linkages strengthen Ghana's role as a focal point for biodiversity initiatives.
Of this enable us to position Guyana as the focal point on this issue of biodiversity. We then met with the Commonwealth Secretary General and her team, again discussing what we are doing in Guyana as against what the Commonwealth is doing. And we were very pleased that our plans are not only aligned, but that we will be collaborating with the Commonwealth on the establishment of the Center of Excellence, which will be a Commonwealth Center of Excellence with our other partners in Guyana.
President Ali underscored the urgency of these initiatives, noting that approximately 60% of global biodiversity has already been lost. He pointed out that just as Guyana has positioned itself as a leader in forest conservation, the country is now assuming a leadership role in biodiversity and ecological services. The president explained that these efforts form part of Ghana's broader strategy to build a resilient, sustainable, and diversified economy. He noted that biodiversity is occurring not only in traditional sectors, but also in future-oriented areas that are considered essential for long-term global sustainability.
And this is all part of building that resilient, sustainable economy that is diversified, not only diversified in traditional areas, but diversified in new areas that are future-proof. Environmental services, ecological services, and biodiversity services are future-proof. Just like we have massive interest and investment in AI and digitization, the future will be about biodiversity, ecological services, forest services, climate services, and we are positioning Guyana ahead of that time.
President Ali noted that Ghana's approach reflects a commitment to responsible global leadership grounded in values that promote sustainability, resilience, and environmental protection as part of everyday life. He described today's engagement as productive and noted that they signal the beginning of significant programs, partnerships, and opportunities for Guyana on the international stage. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal has declared that the nationwide blackouts in Ghana will come to an end within the next 2 years as the government accelerates major investments in energy generation and diversification.
Speaking during his weekly program, Issues in the News, Nandlal said the administration is making what he described as the largest and most consequential investment in Guyana's energy sector, aimed at delivering cheap, reliable, and uninterrupted electricity to households, businesses, and manufacturers.
You know how many generations of Guyanese lived in blackouts? Within the next 2 years, blackout will be history in Guyana. We all lived in blackout. We all are frustrated with blackouts.
According to Nandlal, chronic power outages, long considered a fact of life for generations of Guyanese, are now being decisively addressed through a combination of gas-to-energy infrastructure, solar farms, and grid expansion. Central to this plan is the gas-to-energy project, which will add 300 megawatts to the national grid in its first phase, with an additional 300 megawatts in phase 2. The project is also expected to cut electricity costs by nearly half, removing one of the biggest barriers to economic growth and industrial development.
This budget has a huge financial injection in the energy sector to tackle blackout and provide cheap, reliable, and safe electricity for the people of our country.
Nanlal noted that high electricity costs, estimated to be 4 to 5 times higher than in Trinidad and Tobago, have historically crippled Guyana's manufacturing sector, preventing the country from moving beyond primary production into value-added manufacturing and food processing. He said resolving the energy challenge will unlock the country's true economic potential.
Energy is one of our greatest challenge. It has crippled the manufacturing sector. It has crippled our ability to move from primary production into value-added production because the cost of electricity is prohibitive. The cost of electricity in Guyana is about 4 or 5 times more than in Trinidad and Tobago. And once we are able to deal with that issue, once we are able to overcome the cost of electricity, and we are able to bring down the cost, the manufacturing sector in this country will become unstoppable.
Beyond gas, the government is also rolling out solar energy projects across coastal and hinterland communities, ensuring energy security even in remote regions. These initiatives form part of a broader vision to modernize the economy, strengthen food security, and improve the quality of life for citizens. Nanlal emphasized that the energy push is not just about power generation, but about ending decades of frustration, stimulating investment, creating jobs, and laying the foundation for a modern Guyana beyond 2030. For many Guyanese who grew up with routine blackouts, the government's declaration marks what could be the end of the country's most persistent challenges and the beginning of a new era of energy stability. Adana Dorg, Guyana TV9 News.
2 women of Smithfield, New Amsterdam, Berbice, have been remanded to prison after being charged with possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. Serafina Pitt, 32, and Shimei Bryan, 33, appeared before the Blairmount Magistrates Court in relation to the discovery of 345.8 pounds of cannabis at Number 10 Village, West Coast, Berbice, on January 24, 2026. Both pleaded not guilty. Police prosecutor Sergeant Garfield Edwards objected to bail, citing the large quantity of drugs, the seriousness of the offense, and the stiff penalties attached upon conviction. He told the court that the women were the only occupants of the vehicle at the time of the bust and highlighted that Pitt, a former prison officer, is already before the court on a similar narcotics charge. Magistrate Michelle Matthias denied bail and remanded both women to prison. The matter has been transferred to the Fort Wellington Magistrates Court for further proceedings on February 12, 2026.
GECOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who became 18 years or older on December 31, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as a person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. It is an offense to make false objections. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Thursday, January 22, 2026. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown. Century 21 Building.
Guyana Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamahar Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
GECOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who became 18 years or older on December 31, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as a person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. It is an offense to make false objections. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Thursday, January 22, 2026. For more information, contact GECOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Welcome back. You're watching again at TV9 News Bulletin. 28-year-old Sean Surgeon has been granted $700,000 bail following the fatal high-speed collision on the Diamond New Interlink Road that killed 33-year-old Jason Borgstadt. Police report Surgeon's speeding vehicle caused Borgstadt's bus to overturn, fatally ejecting him. Borgstadt was a chemist at Demerara Distillers Limited and president of the St. Stanislaus College Association. While Surgeon was treated for minor injuries, he is due back in court on February 26, 2026. Guyanese families are set for a major financial boost as the government earmarks $119.4 billion in Budget 2026 to slash electricity bills and end chronic blackouts. Minister of Public Utilities Honorable Deodat Indar announced that this record investment, part of the Putting People First agenda, aims to halve power costs and put more disposable income back into citizens' pockets. By accelerating the gas-to-energy project and expanding solar farms, the initiative promises a more affordable and reliable daily life for every household across Guyana. More in this Faith Sandy story.
With $119.4 billion in energy spending, according to Minister Indar, will support the completion of the gas-to-energy project at Wales, including a natural gas liquids facility and a 300-megawatt power plant. He said by December 2026, Guyana is expected to have 228 megawatts of power feeding into the national grid, a capacity that exceeds the country's current peak demand of 221 megawatts.
$119.4 billion for energy. It required about $10.7 billion to finish out gas to energy 1, where we have a NGL facility. For NGL means it's a natural gas liquefaction facility that is being built at Wales right now. And we have a 300 megawatts power plant there. By the end of the year, the latest approved timeline that the government of Guyana has worked with the contractor in approving is December of 2026. We expect to have 228 megawatts of power on simple cycle to be put into the grid. Right now, our demand, our peak demand is 221 megawatts.
The minister explained that once operational, the project is expected to significantly reduce electricity costs, with the potential to cut power bills by as much as 50%. He noted that cheaper and more reliable electricity is a critical driver for households, small businesses, and large industries, and is essential for kick-starting industrialization across the country.
already put out the RFP in 2025, and we got some amount of interest on that. And as that project roll out, you have a second power plant. So those are some of the things that we're doing in the energy sector. One, to expand it, to diversify it, and to make power production cheaper so that we can cut costs for every consumer in Guyana, whether you are a household, a small business, you're a retailer, you're a distributor, you are a manufacturer, is the entire chain will benefit from this. And here, with cheap power, it's one of the main catalysts for the kickoff of industrialization. And
beyond gas to energy, Minister Indar highlighted phase 2 of the project and renewable energy expansion, including 165 megawatt from Amelia Hydropower and grid-tied solar projects, 33 megawatt completed, 18 megawatt online, 15 megawatt in Linden under construction. He said these initiatives will reduce reliance on imported fuel and provide lower, more stable electricity costs for consumers.
And then we put out Amelia project as well, which is a project we want to use renewable energy to add 165 megawatts to the grid so that power generation can come from renewable sources as well as fossil sources. But the fossil that we're using now in our country is bunkersy, a thick black fuel that is very expensive, that you have to buy from overseas. You have to get US to purchase those fuel. With all of these interventions in country, it means that we don't have to find that US to go procure fuel. Because we don't need to use as much, because it's now been displaced with either solar, which is the grid tie that we're doing, the 33 megawatts grid tie that we did, and 18 megawatts already tied to the grid. 15 megawatts in Linden is being constructed to be tied to the grid. We will have hydropower, 165 megawatts, to offset fuel. Then we have 300 megawatts from the gas to energy using natural gas at around 5 cents per kilowatt hour. Very cheap.
The minister stressed that Budget 2026 provides the resources needed to transform Guyana's energy landscape, positioning the country for sustained economic growth while easing costs for consumers and strengthening competitiveness across all sectors. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
In this Faith Sandy report, you will hear that Senior Minister Dr. Ashley Singh has reaffirmed that the Guyanese government's development strategy remains rooted in a people-centered approach. In a post-presentation interview with Minister Keomo Griffith following the unveiling of the historic $1,558 billion Budget 2026, Dr. Singh emphasized that the economic growth is not an end in itself, but a vehicle for improving the well-being of every Guyanese household.
Dr. Singh said his role was to clearly articulate the government's policy direction, noting that the administration has an extensive agenda spanning labor, health, education, and other critical areas. He explained that the challenge lies not in identifying priorities, but in condensing the breadth of work being undertaken into a clear and concise message for the public.
Of course, my task really is to represent the government and articulate the government's policy agenda. And as you know, as a cabinet colleague, we have a very heavy policy agenda. We're doing a lot of work. There's no shortage of things to do. The truth is that I could literally take any sector and speak all day, time and circumstances permitting, about what we're doing, whether it's labor or health or education. And so in that respect, it almost makes my job easy because it's not difficult. The bigger challenge really is how do you condense what you have to say in a short period of time. But it was really...
According to the senior minister, the government is advancing an ambitious program designed to touch every aspect of national life, with early feedback indicating strong public support.
It's really good to be able to pull together all of the main elements of what our government is doing. It was an important budget because it's the first budget since we came into office, since President Ali was re-elected in the government. So for that reason, it's a very important budget. And I think from all of the initial feedback that I've had, I think it's been very, very warmly received, very positively received. And I think we have an exciting agenda, and we just need to, well, first of all, get through Parliament and then get on with the business of implementing.
He noted that the focus now is on translating policy into action, ensuring that initiatives move swiftly from planning to execution. Dr. Singh said the administration remains committed to implementation with an intensified push on training and technical and vocational skills development as the government works to ensure citizens across Guyana directly benefit from expanded opportunities. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
Michelle Boyo, Gina Ryan, was acquitted of attempted murder after a unanimous jury verdict in the Berbice High Court. The case, stemming from a 2018 wedding house altercation in Bushlot, concluded as Justice Deborah Kumar Chatty formally discharged him, citing his maintained innocence and a lack of evidence to overcome reasonable doubt. More trending stories on the other side of the break. Stay tuned.
GECOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who became 18 years or older on December 31, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as a person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. It is an offense to make false objections. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Thursday, January 22, 2026. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, primetime, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
GECOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who became 18 years or older on December 31, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as a person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. It is an offense to make false objections. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Thursday, January 22, 2026. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
On tonight's Matrimony feature, we shine the spotlight on the reigning Calypso monarch, the man known as Ego. When Quincy Lakin steps onto the Calypso Monarch stage, the crowd knows him by one name, Ego. Bold, theatrical, sharp with words, and sharper with wit. But when the music fades and the costume comes off, he returns to another demanding arena, the courtroom, where he served as a prosecutor.
Back in the days I used to sit down and plan to pack up my traps and leave this land.
This year, Guyana's reigning Calypso monarch returns to defend his title with a proactively titled new single, Crutch's Crutch. Fresh off his 2025 victory with the patriotic anthem Never Trade Guyana, Ego is reminding audience that Calypso is more than just a song. It is storytelling, performance, and lived experience.
You can sing with any topic, and that will be, for instance, the Crutch's Crutch. This is what Calypso is about. You put it in words, and so nobody can say, oh, you're singing a vulgar song and so forth. And whilst you're singing that song, you find a line in there to explain to them very quickly. I said in my song, you mix up the O and the U. Sorry, but you know the O is for which one, the U is for which one. And
Balancing a legal career with the intensity of competitive performance might seem like a conflict of interest, but for Lakin, the transition is seamless. He credits a robust support system for allowing him to thrive in two worlds that both demand the same three things: preparation, precision, and presence.
that's in terms of balancing the career, the professional.
Yes, I wanted to ask you actually, were you already a police officer then when you started competing?
When I started competing, yes.
Yes.
I was a police officer. It wasn't that strenuous as now. Because I didn't see the need to go so hard. I didn't even say this. Go so hard in the competition. I thought that just go there, you get a fourth, a third, so a fifth, whatever it is. You're going there because you love police. And after a while, I said, it makes no sense. You're going there, you have to perform the competition, you have to get the crown. And I started to press harder. If you check my live performances from 2019 to now, you would see that the props and everything, the stage presentation, everything grew, gradually improved and so forth, leading up to 2025. And it became amazing. So in terms of balancing it, I have an amazing team behind me in terms of the police, my commissioner of police, Mr. William, my immediate supervisor, Mr. Watts, every single body in the force, especially in the top brass, the ELT, they have been supportive. So
One of the biggest misconceptions Ego faces is the idea that Calypso must always be political. He's out to prove that the genre doesn't have to be heavy or degrading to be impactful.
the Calypso don't have to be degrading, don't have to attack any specific individual. People when they hear Calypso, they think it's politics. You can go down that line, but you will have to balance it. And I learned that from as a person, and it was more embedded in as a policeman. You have to be disciplined, you have to be dedicated, and you have to go for the drive. So I always say the 3 Ds would be the drive, the discipline, and the dedication. Once you have that, Calypso is going to be amazing for you. You can sing about anybody in the most respectful way. They will like it, they will enjoy it. Guyana will like it, or wherever you are singing from, you'll enjoy it, right?
That philosophy is the heartbeat of Crutch's Crutch. The inspiration didn't come from a political rally, but from a moment of slapstick reality. A knee injury sustained while painting a roof. From that physical pain came a creative spark. The wordplay formed, the rhythm took hold, and a viral hit was born, transforming a personal mishap into a masterclass in clever lyricism. Ego admits his rise to the top wasn't part of a grand design. When he first started, it was just for fun. But now, he's the man to beat.
I told Mr. Alves, I said, man, I want to be a part of Calypso. And he thought, that maybe not now, your voice is not there, and so that was in 2019. And I said, man, let's try it. I went there for the first time, I got fourth. Next year, I think I finished fourth again. Next year was second. And then I went over to Group Productions, and where we did Trip Guyana, very popular song. And
you
yes, in terms of balancing the career, the professional.
Yes, I wanted to ask you actually. Were you already a police officer then when you started competing?
When I started competing, yes.
Yes.
I was a police officer. It wasn't that strenuous as now. Because I didn't see the need to go so hard. I can't even say this. Go so hard in a competition. I thought that just go there, you get a fourth or third, so a fifth, whatever it is. You're going there because you love this. And after a while, I said, it makes no sense. You're going there, you have to perform the competition, you're going to get it done.
As the season heats up, the prosecutor is ready to present his closing argument on stage. Quincy Lakin has proven that identity isn't singular, it's layered, rhythmic, and in his case, crowned with confidence. Ego is back, and he isn't giving up his title without a fight. Adano Dor, Ghana TV9 News.
In tonight's regional news in Jamaica, police are investigating the suspected suicide of 73-year-old Sheila Khalid Garrick of St. Andrews, whose lifeless body was discovered hanging from a window at her home on Monday night. The shocking loss has left the community reeling as family and friends struggle to process the tragedy. The case is under investigation by the Constant Spring Criminal Investigation Branch as authorities seek to understand the circumstances surrounding her death. Garrick, mother of public relations specialist Naomi Garrick and ex-wife of renowned graphic artist Kenneth Anthony Garrick, is remembered with heartbreak and love. Naomi expressed her grief on Instagram, writing, quote-unquote, "I love you so much. I'm going to miss you, Mom." Acting Venezuelan President Delcy Rodriguez has rejected U.S. political orders, asserting Venezuelans' independence nearly a month after Nicolas Maduro captured. Speaking in Puerto La Cruz, she demanded relations based on international law and mutual respect rather than Washington's dictates. Despite freezing over 260 political prisoners, Rodriguez is pushing back against U.S. pressure to sever ties with China, Iran, and Russia while prioritizing American oil interests. Internationally, an ICE agent was blocked from entering the Ecuadorian consulate in Minneapolis on January 28, 2026, after consulate staff confronted him and invoked emergency protocols. Footage shows the masked agent threatening the employee, who stood firm, declaring, "You cannot enter here. This is a consulate." Ecuador's foreign ministry protested the incident, demanding it is not to be repeated. The confrontation happened during a massive ICE and Border Patrol operation in Minnesota, dubbed Operations Metro Surge, which has already sparked protests after two U.S. citizens were fatally shot. The attempted entry highlights tensions over immigration enforcement and the inviolability of diplomatic missions under international law. Those are our major headlines for tonight's newscast. For more trending stories, follow us at our Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube platforms at GECOM TV9. I am Madonna Doric. Thanks for watching.